This I will take credit for because I've never seen anybody else do it. So just to keep things easy, instead of having two mono tracks, one with the DI on it, one with the amp on it, and then having to group them, and then when I'm editing, if the group's off, or if you're doing playlist, there used to be a bug in Pro Tools where when you'd select playlist with a group of tracks, sometimes one would get left out. It was a mess. But I'm a little bit OCD about just like the way the track looks and how it's all organized, the session. So I utilize stereo tracks, and the kind of the term that I've coined for them is based off of the plugin that I use is multi-mono.
Sure.
So I kind of use it as two mono tracks that just happen to be kind of grouped together.
Okay.
So basically in this scenario, so that I can track a DI at the same time with the amp on one track, what I do is I create a stereo track. I have the input of the amps on the left side, the input of the DI on the right. Or switched around, whatever you want, doesn't matter.
It doesn't quite make a difference for this particular purpose?
No.
No. Either side will give you...
No, like when at home I have all my Axe Effects presets are set up so the DI is on the left, but that's just because of the way that it's laid out, but it doesn't really matter. And then what I do is I use a multi-mono plugin in Pro Tools. So you've got multi-channel and multi-mono. Multi-mono lets you basically treat it as two separate signals as opposed to doing the same thing to both.
You could link them together though, right?
There's a little link button, and
but that would defeat the purpose.
It defaults it to link. The reason I unlink it is so that way I can mute the DI.
Oh, cool.
So I've got the DI coming in on the right side, so I just go and I mute it. So that way when you're hearing it, you want to play a little bit for me? Okay. So now you're only hearing the amp. You're only hearing the amp. Now I just muted the left side, which is the amps coming in, and if I go and unmute the right side. So like I said, I've got the amp coming in on the left side of the stereo track, and left and right doesn't mean anything. It's there's two channels on a stereo track. You can pan them wherever you want.
Sure.
But just for consistency's sake, I'll say left and right, just because that's how it's labeled up in the actual multi-mono track. So when I put the multi-mono track on, and this here is just the trim plugin. Now you can use, there's so many different multi-mono plugins that you could use. The reason I use trim is all I need is a mute function. And a volume function if I'm using, sometimes I'll do this and I'll put like a 57 and a 421. And then I'll just trim, say, the 57 or the 421 with the volume knob. So I use this for a bunch of different things. But in this case, I just want to mute the DI. So, Brian, you want to play a little bit for me? The left side amp, I just muted it. Now the right side is our DI. So I've got that there, and the reason why I recorded DI is so if I want to reamp it, if I want to change the sound later, it makes editing a little bit easier because you can see the transients a little better. Main reason I take it is mainly just for if I want to reamp or do something later with it. So, and putting it on a stereo tracks makes it really easy to just kind of keep together, keep organized. You don't have a bunch of different things going on. If you edit, if you're changing playlists, whatever, it's just makes things a lot more organized.